Morning! Hope you guys are doing well. I thought what I would do today is an update on a video that I did a couple of years back called My Epic Bike Collection. Now the title's pretty self-explanatory, but in that video, in case you haven't seen it, I show you all the bikes in my collection, and there were a lot. But since then I've got new sponsors, I've got new custom bikes and frames, I've got loads of really cool stuff, so I wanted to do an update on that video. So before we carry on, I just wanted to thank Lacquer, who have come on board to support myself and sponsor this video. Lacquer are bicycle insurers in the UK, and they work totally differently to other bike insurers. So the different thing with Lacquer is it's community based. So you don't pay your premiums up front at the beginning of the month. At the end of the month, Lacquer work out who has made what claims, and they share the cost of paying out those claims between everyone that insures their bikes with Lacquer. So put it this way, at the end of the month, say someone had their bike stolen, you guys would collectively pay for that bike to be replaced. It works really well because sometimes you're paying virtually nothing. It's also important to know that the price you'll have to pay on any month is capped, so it's not like if Billy Bob down the road gets 20 grand's worth of bikes stolen, you're suddenly going to have to pay for that. So it's a really cool and interesting and community-based way of insuring your bikes. Thank you, Lacquer! On with the video. First bike that I wanted to show you is my beautiful custom carbon handmade Windy Miller road bike. This thing, oh my goodness, I love it so much. It's made with tube-to-tube construction, so it's not made in a mould. Each tube is individually cut and put together by hand. It's been custom painted in the Windy Miller paint factory to my design. So it's, yeah, I love it so much. On top of all that, it's equipped with a SRAM Axis electronic group set, which is the group set to end all group sets. You cannot get any better than that. Topped off with Zip 303 wheels. I am now sponsored by Zip. So, what else can I say about it? It's the bomb. In fact, I'm not going to say any more because I have a whole bunch of other bikes to show you. So I figured we might as well get all the road bikes out of the way at the start. This bike, it is a Goomar Bike, which was made by ASOS back when I was sponsored by them. It is super lightweight carbon, and it is my climbing bike because I think it weighs 6.3 kilos. Actually, it probably doesn't in this configuration because I've got power tap pedals on and they are hefty. But anyway, it's super lightweight. I've got super light, shallow Zip 30 course wheels. It is not disc brake equipped because it's lighter to have the calipers, but it's still SRAM red, so it's still super duper awesome. I've got the SRAM cockpit with the SL70 carbon stem. Gosh, this is really testing my memory here. I'm having to remember every part of every bike. And it's got the SL70 bars. Has it? Let's see. Yes, bingo, SL70 bars. So yeah, there we go. Let's move on to the bikes from my new sponsor. Ooh. So the really exciting thing is that this year in 2020, I'm sponsored by Maroon Bikes. So yeah, thank you Maroon Bikes. Maroon and I go way back. I'm pretty sure I had a Maroon mountain bike in my last Epic Bikes collection video, but now Maroon are my official sponsors for off-road cycling. So they've given me multiple mountain bikes and gravel bikes, and this thing is my absolute pride and joy. I love this. So this is the Maroon Headlands. It's a full carbon gravel bike. I was meant to be racing on this bike this year, although it's not looking likely with everything getting cancelled. But oh my goodness, this bike, it's incredible. It's got the most beautiful paint job. It's got Zip 303 650B wheels. So smaller wheel size means that I can run bigger tyres and get a bit more comfort on any rough sections in gravel races. So that's super cool. I've never run 650Bs before and I'm really, really liking it. I've got the Wtb Ventures on here. I think these are 47C. 47C, I remembered. This bike is also amazing because it is equipped with an amazing group set. So I've got the SRAM Axis electronic group set on this, and I've got it set up in mullet configuration. So that means I've got road shifters and levers at the front, but at the back I've got a mountain bike cassette. So that gives me a really decent range of gears for racing, means that I can really go for it and get a lot of speed up, but also I can get up really, really steep stuff. So I've got this ginormous cassette and long reach mech at the back to cope with it. I've got a 42 tooth chainring up front, and at the back I've got 10 to 51. It's also got a built-in power meter. Quark are part of the Zip SRAM family, and they were kind enough to put a power meter into the crank. The whole thing is finished with Zip cockpit. Of course, I've got the Zip Explore bars, they're flared bars, and gosh, I love this bike so much. If you want to see a more in-depth look at it, then click up here and it'll take you to the video. Okay, so on to the next gravel bike. This is another Marin Headlands carbon frame, but this one's got completely different specs. For a start, it's got 700C wheels, so I've got the Zip 303 700s on here, and also I've got narrower tyres, because obviously with them being 700 there's less clearance than there would be with 650B. So I've got the Wtb Nano Tires on. I really love these. I raced Tuscany Trail and Grit Fest last year on them. I used them on pretty much all my gravel rides last year, so I'm sticking with those on the 700s, although Dave said there's a new Wtb tyre called the Radler that I might try out. The group set is a different spec to my other gravel bike on this one, slightly lower spec. It's not electronic, and I've got a mixture of SRAM Force and SRAM Apex, which are both still very decent, but slightly lower cost and slightly heavier than on my other gravel bike. I've got this set up with a 40 tooth chainring at the front, and at the back I've got 10 to 42 cassette, so that gives me an easy enough gear to get up most hills. The really interesting thing about this bike in its current setup is I've got a Lauf fork on it. So the Lauf fork is a sprung suspension fork basically. It's got carbon leaves that flex, so it really helps iron out a lot of the bumps if you're doing a long gravel ride, and therefore you kind of get less fatigued, at least that's the theory. You'll notice here that I haven't chopped the steerer down enough. That is not because I don't know what I'm doing, it's because the Lauf fork isn't mine and they want it back. And because I'm small, if I chop it down to fit my small bike, when they get it back, it'll be too small for them to use on someone else's bike. So that's why it looks terrible. But the Lauf fork I've really enjoyed. If you want to know more about it, I made a video all about riding with the Lauf fork. Click up here. So this bike is pretty different to my other gravel race bike, even though it's the same frame. But it has got the same Zip Explore bars, the flared bars. I like these bars a lot. You can fit your bike packing bags in easily without them getting in the way of the shifters. Also, I feel that the wider bars give me more control, so that's nice on the techie bits. I finished this bike off with some really lovely Supercast bar tape. I particularly like this oil slick bar tape that they make. Costs quite a lot of money, but it's super comfortable, and I think that's important on a gravel bike. Okay, so on to yet another Maroon. They are very, very good to me. This is my custom, one-of-a-kind Maroon cross-country mountain bike. So this bike is super lightweight. I really enjoy riding it, and it's got really interesting wheels because it's got Zip wheels on it. It's the first mountain bike wheel that Zip have made. It's actually more of a kind of enduro trail wheel, but I decided that I wanted to try them out, so I've got them on my XC bike. They've got the Tyre Whiz as well, so I'm able to see my tyre pressure via an app on my phone, which I quite like, modern technology. I've got carbon bars on this. I think these are Truvative. What else have I got? It's got a SRAM group set, drivetrain, disc brakes. Obviously, it's a mountain bike. I'm running out of things to say now because I've talked about bikes for so long. It's got the RockShox SID fork. I made the mistake of calling it the SID fork before and I got crucified, so am I right? Is it the SID fork? Anyway, it's a good fork. This has been custom painted for me. I've got DMR Volt pedals on it. They are my absolute favourite. I love those. Well, apart from the other DMR clippy ones, they're really good as well. Oh, and the dual-sided ones. I really rate DMR pedals, they're really good. I need a cup of tea. Let's get the next bike in. So on to the next bike, and this, I'm so excited about. It literally just arrived. I finished putting it together today. It's the Maroon Alpine Trail. It is a trail bike, So at the moment, with the restrictions on going outside and traveling and stuff, possibly not going to ride it as much as I would normally, because I would tend to drive to the local trails or trail centres or up onto Dartmoor to ride this bike, and obviously at the moment we're not doing that. But I am really looking forward to riding it and taking it to Dartmoor Bike Park, where they've got loads of jumps and stuff, and to Wind Hill, and to loads of amazing places. Basically, I can't wait to ride this bike. I don't even know what it's got on it because I just got it out of the box. It's got Deity bars and stem, Fox 36 fork, Fox DP32 shock, KS dropper post, Wtb saddle. It is going to be so much fun riding this. I seriously can't wait. But yeah, look out for me doing that in a couple of months, I guess. So I've got one more mountain bike that I want to show you. I'm going to go and grab it. This is the one that I ride when I'm pottering about with my daughter. I put a trailer on it. I put the Mac Ride bike seat on the front so she can sit on the front. I do touring and stuff like that on it. It's just a kind of fun, do it all, yeah, cool bike. I'm going to go grab it. This is the Marin Pine Mountain. It's a steel frame. I've talked about this in a video I made before where I mentioned that I was going to put a rigid fork on it. As you can see, I haven't. You might also notice that there are no tubes and no air in the tyres. I'm in the middle of setting this up as tubeless, but I've just got these new Wtb Ranger tyres, and oh my goodness, they're so tight, I'm finding it hard to even get them on. So yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get a good seal once I get the sealant in there, but basically I need to put the tyres on a couple of times and stretch them a bit before I set it up as tubeless. I have changed the bars on this. I've got these on-one bars that I kind of like. I haven't got the right length stem. I've put this old Chinelli one that I had lying around on there. Not quite sure about the fit of this bike. I'm tweaking a few things because I should have got a medium and I've got a small. So yeah, I think I need a longer stem. I've got this lovely comfy Brooks saddle on here. I rode around Japan on my honeymoon on this saddle, so it's a very special saddle to me. This one actually came with Shimano, so we won't go into that because I'm sponsored by SRAM, but that's how it came. It's just a lot of fun to ride. If you want to know more about it, then I made a video about it, so click up here. So the final bike in my collection, you might have seen this bike before, it is my beautiful handmade steel custom track bike, and this bike I raced Red Hook Crit on, and I just absolutely love it. It had gold leaf applied by hand all over, and then a candy fade on top of that, so it just looks absolutely beautiful. You'll notice I haven't got a seat post on it because the seat post is on one of my other bikes. I don't have literally endless everything, so I swapped the seat post between this bike and my gravel bike because I'm not really riding the track bike so much at the moment. It's got some lovely finishing touches like this hand cut Juliet name tag here, which I really like. You'll notice that there's also quite a lot of damage to it because, you know, Red Hook Crit can be a bit crashy, so some of the gold leaf has flaked off a bit, which is a bit of a shame. I've got good old zip wheels on here, of course, and I've got my regular SRAM Omnium crank, which I always run on my track bikes. The gearing that I run on this depends on the course and where I'm riding. Obviously heavier for faster open courses, and I would go for an easier spinny gear if I was in town or doing a race with lots of quick turns and stuff. So I don't have a standard gearing, in case you're wondering. Up front I've got the good old Zip SL70 stem and bars again, love those, and I've got Brooks bar tape. This is another really nice tape that I like. And I think that's about all I have to say about this beautiful bike. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at all my bikes. I've actually got a couple more in our secure unit. I've got a jump bike and I've got a BMX. If you want to see those, you're going to have to watch the original Epic Bike Collection video. And if you want to check out Lacquer Insurance, I'll pop a link down below. Big thanks to Lacquer for supporting this video and supporting me. If you want to get free insurance credit, then go to the website and put in my code Juliet, Juliet, put that in, you'll get free credit, so free insurance. Let me know what you think of all the bikes, let me know what you think of the video. Please subscribe. I've set myself a goal of reaching 50,000 subscribers, which would just, I don't know why I have that goal, but basically I said to Dave that if I get 50,000 subscribers, we need to have a massive celebration. So help me get to 50,000 and subscribe to Dave, because he also has a channel. I'll put a link to his channel down there. But that's it from me for now. I hope you guys are all doing okay. I know it's a bit of a stressful time with what's going on in the world at the moment. I hope you're doing okay, and I'll chat to you next week. Bye.